Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Drop the Tea. And if you were over on my other live, I know this is a bit much because I just got off one live with Sassy T, Tea Talk with your girl and Sandra P, which is our other channel, which is Dropping Extra Sassy Tea Talk. How is everyone doing? And let me know if you guys were over on the other live with me, Sassy T, and to talk with your girl and Sandra P. And if you enjoyed the live, let me know if you enjoyed it. But we're gonna do a live. I did not want to not do my live because I did put it out there. So we're gonna be, talking about a couple of different things. I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. You see the thumbnail. We have Martell Hope and Coleslaw. We also have Toya, Carter Rushing, which is Lil Wayne's baby mother and ex-wife, and Ray Janae Carter's mother. We also have Dr. Hellish on there as well. Also, we're going to talk about AL, what he had to say about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to talk about that. So we have him on the thumbnail. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about Roa from tonight. As you come in, if you could hit that thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Hello, Linnell. Hello, Linda Gamble. Thank you so much, Linda Gamble, for coming over and getting my channel together. Thank you very much. Let's see. Hello, K Cloud 43. Hello, Lori Bell Carter. As you come in, if you could give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're going to get started in just a minute. You know, we do have to wait for the 10-minute mark. So give me just a moment here. Let me get some things together here. We got to wait for that 10-minute mark so they can set up my ads. And if you did not check out my other video from earlier today, I would very much appreciate if you can go over there and check that video out and also give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on if you like it. Hello, Sonia. Welcome. So if you could also check out my video from earlier and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It depends on how you feel about it. Yeah, so we're going to get into some things here. And as you come in, looks like we got 19 people in here. Can you give me a thumbs up as you come in? And I'm just waiting for the 10-minute mark before I start speaking about what we're going to be talking about so they can set up my ads. I know that's kind of, rough, but we do have to wait for that. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the mess and the drama. We're going to get into the mess. We're going to get into the mess. Then also, we're going to talk about Stormmy for a little bit, guys. It looks like Stormmy has come out with some new things as well, and some of her customers are not too happy about some of the products she's been that they've been getting, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, allegedly. So we're going to get into that as well. Give me just a second here. Now, I'm not no hater or anything like that, but the new perfume she got out, I don't know how they smell, but the bottles are gorgeous. The bottles are gorgeous now. So we're going to get into a little bit of that. I don't know how it smells or anything like that. So we're going to get into that with Stormmy. I'm going to show that in just a second. Now, I ain't no hater. If something looks good, because, I'm a girl's girl. I love perfume and things like that. And these bottles that she got it in, it looks gorgeous. But I don't know how it smells. So it looks like she got quite a bit of different scents here. So we're going to get into that as well. Also, we're going to talk about Married to Medicine, what was going on over there. We're going to get into that as well. We're going to get into it, y'all. So we just got to wait for the 10-minute mark, and we're going to get into it. We're talking about everything tonight. We got Jackie Christie, soon to be divorced from Doug. We got her as well. Who else we gonna be talking about? We're gonna be talking about a couple of things tonight here. We're gonna get into a couple of things. We're gonna get into it. So give me a moment while I get everything set up here. And Contessa here. We're gonna get into her as well. Well, Simone and Contessa and Scott. Now Dr. Hemley is saying that Scott was allegedly was cheating on Contessa. So we're gonna get into a lot of that as well. So we're gonna get into that as well. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up button. Tamara, we have Tamara Morgan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bernice, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, as you come in, if you could hit that thumbs up button, even if you're in the bushes, just jump down for a minute and hit the thumbs up button. We're almost at the 10-minute mark. And if you guys were over on the other live a minute ago, how did you guys like the live when we were talking about Roa? And did anybody watch Roa tonight? So we see the famous scene where the talk of the town has been. That's why Kenya is suspended / fired. We don't know which one yet, but some people say she's fired. Some people say she's suspended. I also just heard that they offered Kenya to come back, and Kenya declined for this season. So maybe she's going to come back next season. So we know after this scene here, so maybe this is when Phaedra is getting ready to enter the scene. After the debacle went on with Kendra at the salon. So maybe Phaedra is getting ready to enter the scene. So maybe next week or the week after we'll be seeing Phaedra. You won't be seeing Kenya anymore. Hello, Angelita. Hello, hello. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth. To me, both of the ladies was wrong. Both were wrong. And I would have, I thought they could come together as ladies and talk it out. But I guess apparently, I told you, I be having such high hopes for these women, sophisticated, classy women, and it doesn't work out. I be having high hopes for them, though. This scene was filmed last summer. Well, I hope they done got over everything and they can maybe now, tempers are down, come together, maybe have lunch and somebody, bring them together and see if they can iron things out. Let me know what y'all think. All right, we got 27 in the chat. All right, guys. So let me just get the housekeeping out the way. Everything I say on my channel is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. It's all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, there is an allowance for fair use of copyrighted material for such purposes as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, and learning. Fair use, fair use. Also, I do not own the rights to any of these clips that I show. I do not own the rights to any of the clips that I show. All right, everyone. You're almost at the 10. All right. So we're at the 10-minute mark. All right. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Dropping Extra Sassy Tea Talk. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. We like coming together every Wednesday and Sunday talking about it. And also, we may talk about something that's going on in these YouTube streets. So I am glad that you guys enjoyed that. So, we get along. Sometimes we agree and we disagree sometimes. So, that's what, makes it, like a good commentary, because we can agree to disagree, and these ladies should be able to do the same on Married to Medicine and on Raw. But yeah, I guess it doesn't matter your age. It is what it is. So let's get into. Oh, thank you, Angelita. Thank you. Thank you. You love the three of us. I love the three of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. So we know AL has been missing in action for a while, but he said that he has a boo thing now. He got somebody now he's spending time with, and they both have careers, and they can travel and stuff, and that's good. When you can find love, I love love. Love is love. If you can find someone that that you can rock with, vibe with, and y'all share the same interests, that is great. Because I know I haven't been, seeing him on these YouTube streets. So he says he's not going to be covering Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. He don't care about anything, but he did have some tea for what is it? One of their producers. I can't think of his name right now, but he did say that he did show us that if they keep on effing around with him, he will start putting out all the scenes from the show that's supposed to happen. So he did show us the text messages of somebody sending him the information about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, like how, Love and Marriage Huntsville is produced to something to that effect, where it shows like the guide to it, right? Also, he showed the text message of the person sending him the information, but of course, his name was blared out. But he has Love and Marriage Huntsville allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. He knows all the scenes that's going to be that they, that will be coming up if Love and Marriage Huntsville is put on or whatever show is going to be put on. He has all that information, he says, allegedly. Also, he has a bunch of different stuff that he could put out, and it could mess up Carlos King, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. So if we, the content creators or the fans or what have you, know everything that's going to go on, that's very bad for business. So I bet you, Carlos King is trying to find out who is the person that's giving Anthony all this information. Because and I will say this, when he does have information, it may be a little off, but for the most part, the information is spot on. So he does have that information, and he already told him, yeah, keep effing around with me, I will put it out. And they keep thinking that he's mad about that he couldn't be on the show. He says he's not bad about that. He's going to be having something coming out himself, or he's going to be producing it. So, he's going to be producing some stuff. So I guess he's like, the hell with Love and Marriage Huntsville. He don't got time for it. He got other things going on. And then, like I said, he has he got him a boo thing now. So he don't have time for it, And as y'all notice, he has not been on the internet. Now, he said he did go on TikTok for a second, but he have not been on his YouTube page dropping any content. He's been with his boo thing, and I think that's good. If you found love, that's great. So yeah, that's basically what he was saying. Did he say? I was trying to think of what else. Now, I was also shocked that he didn't come back out and say nothing about Wanda from the information she'd been saying on the internet. I'm surprised he did not come back out against Wanda from the stuff that she's been saying. So I thought he would come back and say something about her, but he didn't. So he did not come back out and say anything, about Wanda. Maybe he's just letting it go, but we shall see. So I think he went on a little trip or what have you, and he's been busy. He had, doing his thing. So we shall see if Love and Marriage Huntsville come out with say anything else about him. He said he's going to put the information out. So we shall see about that. Now, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I don't have Stormmy on the thumbnail, but Stormmy was on her live talking about different things like that. And then some people had some comments. I say I can take constructive criticism because that makes you better. And as a business owner, you should be able to take constructive criticism as well, because if your products, are not doing what they're supposed to do and people give you that honest feedback, don't get mad about that. Just take it, with a grain of salt and go back to the drawing board and see what I can do. Some people don't like the vanilla. They said it doesn't smell like vanilla. They're just not feeling it, feeling the product. So, everybody's not going to like everything. Everything ain't for everything. And I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just telling you what they saying. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Now, I did say that she did come out with some perfumes. So I'm going to let you guys see them here. She did come out with some perfumes to go with her body glaze. So let's take a look here now. It doesn't look bad. Like I said, the bottles look good. So let's take a look.
Deal's going to be fire, and we giving away 2 cars. Now we done got perfume on y'all, not body glaze, scents, and perfumes. I told y'all this week I was gonna start showing y'all all the new products that's dropping on the live, and here they go. Listen, the perfumes is one of them, and we got so many scents because y'all know we got so many body glazes that hit. We about couldn't even narrow it down to which ones we wanted to make into perfumes, but get into the box. Look at that. Get into the quality, honey. When I said we coming with it, we coming with it. I can't wait for y'all to see what else we dropping, and make sure you register for the live, because not only we dropping all these amazing products, the deal's gonna be fire, and we giving away 2 cars. Now we done got perfume on y'all.
So she has the she says she's selling the perfume to go along with the body glazes. What do y'all think about that? Now I did say, now I ain't no hater, the bottles do look good. I did say that, but we don't know how they smell, because I know Dr. Well, I'm not going to name anyone. They said that they didn't like the signature perfume she came out with. They didn't like the signature. Now, I don't know how these smell. I don't know how they smell, but she said they fire. Also, here are the 2 cars that she was giving away as well. Here's the 2 cars that she was giving away. So they said the cousin got the cars. They said the cousin got the 2 cars. Now, these are some nice looking cars, and she gave them away. Whoever won the cars. Let's see who won the cars. Now, these are some nice looking Hondas. They look nice. I won't lie. Only if it's true that somebody won both of them. She said she paid $25,000 a piece for each one of them, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. If the cousins want them, they're some nice looking cars. Would I drive them? Yes, they look nice. So that's what we have that's going on with Stormy here. Now, what do y'all think about the cars? Do y'all think, someone said that her cousin them won the cars. Do y'all think they some nice looking cars? Let me know in the chat if you think there's some nice looking cars. So that's what they, been saying out here in the YouTube streets. That's what, I've been hearing. And I think in my last life, someone said her cousins won the cars. She gave them to her cousins. That's great. But, her bestie, Destiny out here, real bad. She don't got a car. So she could have, gave one of the cars to Destiny. You know, if your friend didn't have no car and you giving away two, you could have very easily gave one of those cars to Destiny. She's coming to support, you and your business. And, also you could have gave her a leg up. You could have promoted some of her products on your live. Just saying. She could have promoted some of them. Just saying. Yes, they said her cousins won the cars. That's what they're saying. Allegedly. And for entertainment purposes only. Now, do I hate Stormy? No, I don't hate Stormy. I just dislike her. I dislike what she did to me. But if she got some stuff going on out here in the YouTube streets, I will talk about it sometime. So that's what she had going on. Also, she's coming. Well, we already know that she came out with some seasoning. They said she sold out of the season. So if she was just doing the right thing, I could root for her, as a Black businesswoman. But, I just don't like the sly stuff she did to Mel. And I'm just being honest with you. It's nothing, nothing against her product. I'm talking about her as a person, not as a business owner, her as a person, to do that to another woman. That's the problem I have with her. The way she got on the show, by her knowing she knew Martell Mistress and played the male face like that. I can't get with no woman like that. Because I don't know what else you do. If you would do something like that to a married woman and you a married woman, I can't get down with nobody like that. Just saying. That's just my opinion. Now, do I have anything against her business? No. Her products are not for me. They're for, the kids, like my teenage daughter. She loves the product, so that's fine. Another lady was asking her, did she have any scents? Because all of her scents smell like food and they're real strong. They want like some rosy scents, like some grown women shit. The shit that males sell. Grown woman stuff. So they want some stuff like that. But the kids like the donut, the pound cake, all that kind of smell. They like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me as a grown woman, I like male scents better. They work better for me who I am now as a woman. Now, maybe earlier back in the day, they would have worked for me. But me as a woman I am today, male products work well for me. The scents and things like that. So not to try to pin them against each other. But I'm saying, like my daughter, she can wear, Stormy, and I can wear male stuff. It just doesn't, Stormy stuff is just not for me at the place that I'm at in my life. That's all. Hello, Sandra. Hello. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I don't got nothing against her business. I'm talking about Stormy as the person, not Candace. I'm talking about Stormy as the person, the woman. I can't get down with that. When you slide, another woman like that, I don't like that. So that's what my thoughts is about that. So now, let's get into Martell and Coleslaw and the cast. Let's get into that. Now, we all know that if you do not film, you don't get paid, right? Nobody's filming anything anymore. So we know a lot of people on that show, that is their bread and butter. That's how they feed themselves, put a roof over their head. And we know damn well that's how Martell survived. If he's not filming, what do y'all think he's doing for money? What could he possibly be doing for money? Him and Coleslaw or the rest of the cast? I heard that Kimmy went back to nursing. I have not heard that Maurice is taking on any cases. I have never heard him talk about or anybody talking about that he is a lawyer. So, maybe he's not bringing in any income because he claims to be a lawyer. So, okay, I'll take that back. He was helping Destiny with the car from CarMax. So he was a lawyer for that. But that's the only one I've seen. I've heard him doing. Have y'all heard of Maurice taking on any clients for his law business? Yeah, I'm right with you, Sandra. I don't know when she has like a contest or something like that. Stormy, to my knowledge, that I know of, they never post who the winners are. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Have y'all ever seen the winners of anything? Let me know in the chat because I could be wrong. I've never seen the winners of any of the cars or anything. Let me know in the chat if y'all saw the winners of any cars or anything. Um, but what I was saying is that this cast depends on that show to eat. So if by them not filming, do they get maybe a what do you call it? A pre-check or any a pre-check or anything like that? You think? All right, guys, I'm back. So if they do, they get maybe some type of kind of a pre-check for them possibly filming stuff, and it's not released yet because of the show. So do y'all think they may get like some type of a check, like a pre-check? Or wait a minute, no, that's not it. A loan. Can't they get a loan on their funds? A loan. They can get a loan towards their check. So when they start filming, I think they can do that. Let me know in the chat if they can do that. I know, Helena, but can't they get like a borrow some money towards their payment? I mean, towards their check, if that's their only source of income. I thought that someone said that before that they could do that, like borrow towards their check, like a loan. And then when they start filming, they just take it out of their check. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Because y'all know that Love and Marriage Huntsville do not stay off this long. They a month. I will give them a month, the longest I ever know Love and Marriage Huntsville to stay off. And in season 9 that we just see, that came back within a month. It was never this long. So that's why I said it's something going on with it. And they better start looking for other income coming in, because it seems like something ain't right, or if they try to shop the show around to maybe another network. Or, like I said, we know Carlos King has his house up for sale. So maybe he's giving them some type of loan towards their check. We could do that. Okay. So August 7th says, if her cousin won the car, it was a scam from the beginning. Yeah, because I think you had to register, and I don't know if you had to. Did you have to pay something? It was some way she was doing a contest. Let me know in the chat. It was some way. Is it that you have to buy raffle tickets for to be entered into the drawing for the cars? I think it was something to that effect. If her cousins won the cars. Okay, hello Sheila. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello Helene. Hello August 7th. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome. Sheila said if her cousin won the cars, I bet they are leased and she can deduct it from her company taxes. Okay. Let's see here. We never see the winners at all, Sandra. I've never seen the winners from anything she done. You don't think they get paid until the show premieres, Helene? Okay. Not if they haven't been picked up. Okay, you said not if they've been picked up. But how is these? Good afternoon, Helena. Good afternoon. Okay, Sonia, you said 125 and then 175 for VIP. Yes. So that was a lot to pay for those tickets. And then I heard someone say that allegedly Destiny went there specifically so that she could enter to try to win one of those cars. Advance on the future earnings, it may be in their contract. Who knows? That's what I was thinking. They can get an advance because a lot of those people depend on that. And then too, what I was thinking, maybe when we saw Coleslaw in that house, maybe she's filming. Maybe her and Spider-Man and Martell are filming in that house because y'all remember he said he wants to show us real life. So maybe they're filming in that house, and also maybe Martell, maybe that's all he can afford is his house right now because they're not getting paid. So they probably have to stay in the house. And somebody said they saw Martell truck out there in the driveway. Now, yeah, remember she had a Audi car. If y'all don't see her in that Audi car no more, we know it was rented. It seemed like every time around tax time, Coleslaw go rent her a car, I guess, until the tax money went out. It never fails. Last tax season, she was in a car. Then once the days went on, months went on, we didn't see her in the car no more. She was right back driving one of Martell cars. And they say that she doesn't really go out in Huntsville without Martell. She'll probably go take her daughters to the games or stuff like that, or wherever she got to go. But as far as being out in Huntsville, no, she don't be walking around Huntsville like that. Hello, my sweet. Hello, Capricorn Flower. Yeah, so that might be where they have to stay for now. Because apparently Martell, the house that he was living in again, I don't know if he was not able to pay his rent or whatever. They said he was squatting and they wanted him out that house. So maybe he has eventually then left the house now because the people wanted him out of that house. So maybe he has left now. I don't know why he does this. Go get these houses, but I think he does that to try to compete with Melanie. So he goes and get these big houses that he really can't afford to try to keep up with Melanie. Because Melanie has a big house on the hill. So he'll go get like a bigger house. It's not as big as Melanie, but it's a decent size to try to compete with Melanie. That's what I think he does. Where the rent or lease is about $3,000 to $4,000 that he can't afford. Then he might You know, when they first get their check from Love and Marriage Huntsville, he put down the rent and security. Then after that, they have a hard time allegedly getting, you know, their rent money every month because it's so much. And then allegedly he had to, you know, help pay for coleslaw, house, and bills or whatever she got. And maybe everything is just coming, you know, full circle on him that he can't afford it no more. And there's nothing wrong if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. But just get something that you can afford. Get something that you can afford. So let me know what y'all think. Yeah, do y'all think that all of them are staying in that house now? Because I think it was a 2 or 3 bedroom, but the house is small on the inside. The house is very small on the inside. So I don't think that is enough room for Martell, Coleslaw, her 2 kids, and then his 4 kids in that 2 or 3 bedroom house. But like I said, it is a small house now. It is a small house. So we should see. So we shall see if that's going to work out for them. Now, I don't want to say that, you know, that I feel bad for Martell because he brought all this on himself. And y'all also know when Martell get low on money, you know he goes around Huntsville and do bad things, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. Y'all remember what he did? He swindled them people out of that money, built a half-built house. It wasn't up to code. He has no builder's license. So, you know, Martell does strange things when he's low on cash. And you know what Coleslaw said? They did some stuff that could get them in jail. So I think when they're low on cash, they do stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Now, I said, I'm saying what Coleslaw said. It's allegedly for entertainment purposes only. And, you know, like I said, this is bad for him right now. Overton, you know, Martell them think that they are millionaires. They're too good for jobs. They're not going to go get no 9-to-5 job. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So if we looking for Martell to do that, no. You think that Martell would take a chance of going to get a 9-to-5 job, and someone sees him and start recording him and then send it to the content creators or bloggers? He's not going to do that. Like, that's why, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, he went way up there to Atlanta to file for Social Security when he could have easily filed for it online or in Huntsville. He know people know who he is. So that's why I think he went up there to Atlanta to do it. We haven't heard anything from Maurice or Kimmy. No, but I did hear something about Kimmy. They said Kimmy is working on a new project. Now, she was in a movie over there on Tubi with Sunny. Now, I guess she's working on something else, but we don't hear nothing that Maurice is doing. Besides, they said he's a lawyer, but we have not heard about any case he's tried or anything. And then the only other time we hear about him is when he goes to court with BT. That's it. Other than that, we don't hear nothing else. So do y'all think Maurice is trying to lay low, or what's going on? Why haven't we been hearing anything from him? Something got to be going on with this cast. Then we got Trish and Ken. We know Trish was trying to get the gym open up because she was asking Kimmy, you know, to help her find like a space so she can do the gym. Her and Ken are supposed to be opening up a fitness gym. And apparently she's going to be quitting her job at NASA to pursue this. So we don't know if she's quit the job yet, but that's what she wanted to do. She did not want to work anymore. Um, I don't know. Now we know Kid was allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, he was doing. He was he had a trucking business. Now y'all know what happened with that. Y'all know what happened with that. So I don't know if he still is a trucker after the incident. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all think he's still doing the trucking thing? Let me know what y'all think. So we shall see if, and y'all know before they said Letitia was around here doing Uber. Now, I don't knock nobody for whatever job you got to do. Whatever you got to do, you got kids to maintain your house. That's what you got to do. I don't knock anybody from doing what they got to do. Now, if I got to Uber, I'm going out there and Uber. I have Uber before. If I have to go back out there and do it, I will. Just saying. You got to whatever you got to do to keep a roof over your head and to feed your children, in your family, your household. You got to do what you got to do. You got to Uber, do Lyft, whatever you got to do. That's what you got to do. If you are do CNA, whatever you got to do. McDonald's, Target, Walmart, wherever you got to do to survive out here. That's what you got to do until you can get something better. So I don't have no problem with that. So everybody do what they need to do to keep a roof over your head. Hello, my degree is real. Hello, hello. Okay, so we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. How did you guys like the show? Let me know about the show. How did you guys like it? My part that I did not like was that part with Kenya. I just thought that was so distasteful. I know that what Britt said about the pow pow and what I know that. But these ladies should have been able to come together and talk like ladies. Even if they left without saying, no, I don't want to be friends with you. But they have to be around each other. They work together. They run in the same circle. So you should be able to be cordial around someone. I thought that's what should have happened. Should have. Should have, could have, whatever. It didn't happen. Yes, Britt was wrong for saying that to her. But Britt tried to come back and apologize to her because y'all know Britt said she had lost her uncle and her head was all over the place. So sometimes, if you was close to that uncle or whoever, that could, get you really upset and you do some things that you regret the next day. And you think about it, it's like, okay, I could have handled that better. This was not the move. I'm a grown ass woman. Okay, Kenya invited me. I'm gonna go and talk to her, bring her flowers, try to do a peace offering, like Shamia did with Angela. That was the grown woman thing to do. Not do this at your grand opening, touting your business. They even said that Sally has taken her products out of their store. So now you're going to mess up your bag. Now your product is getting taken out of the store because people don't want to be associated with a person that does this. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do y'all think Kenya was wrong for what she did? Do you think both of them was wrong? Do you think they could have handled it better as women? Hello, Lisa Fisher, my member and T-Sipper. Hello, hello. Mark St. Mary said, if The Scotts and everyone else on the show is unemployed. They should be able to collect unemployment. But your employer has to be putting money into the pot for that. Now, if you are a contractor, I don't know if they have to put money in the pot for you. Maybe they do, because he said he's a big production company. So if he was paying money in the pot for that, then they should be able to get some funds. But who's to say? Allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, if Carlos is putting that money, in the pot in case somebody has to file for unemployment. Just saying. You said Kenya should get her job back. Justice for Kenyan. They don't run in the same circle. Well, when they're working together, on the show, they have to be, in places together. Now, I did hear that they told Kenya she can come back, but Kenya declined to come back this season. That's what I heard, allegedly. Allegedly. I think Kenya got what she deserved. That was a low blow. Okay. Yes, Kenya was wrong. Okay. Kenya was right not to accept the apology, and those products have been out of the store. It wasn't that many. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at one of the scenes, guys. Okay, let's take a look. Give me 1 second here. Now, if they would have, now I will say that they could have suspended both of them. Both of them could have got suspended, and and that would have been cool too, if they would have suspended both of them. Do y'all think both of them should have got suspended? We're gonna take a look. Let's take a look. I think both of them should have got suspended, guys. I'm just being real. Both. They were both out of line. Now, Britt did try to come and bring flowers and a card and apologize to Kenya, but Kenya was not having it. She did try to apologize. The same thing as Shamia did with Angela. She brought an olive branch and olive oil to say, okay, I was wrong for what I done. Now, that could have went that way as well. Kenya, at that point, when Britt came in there, tried to apologize for her, she could have not brought out those poster boards with all that information on there. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. She could have said, okay, let's go over here and talk. She did not have to do that, but Tyler saying, to be fair, both. Okay, okay. Okay. Mark said that they had to have jobs before Love and Marriage Huntsville that they paid into. Yeah. Kenya will be back next season and that trash will be gone. Her contract is only for a year. Okay. All right. Kenya shouldn't have used her event to be low down wrong. To be low down and wrong move, Kenya. Okay. Wrong move, Kenya. Okay. You said that Britt should have tried to talk to Kenya the next day instead of going over Shamia's. Okay. I agree with that. Okay, you said it wasn't the same that she threatened her with a pow. It's not the same as Shamia. Okay. Kenya did self-sabotage. Okay. Kenya did too much. Why would she do that at her opening? Not cool. Okay. I can agree with that. I agree with everybody, but This is what I say here. One thing that I agree with is that if I was launching a new business, I would have not done that. At any other event, that she may have, not at a grand opening that I worked so hard for. No, I would not have done that. Another thing, Brett could have called Kenya the next day and said, "Let me take you to lunch. I know some things were said. I want to talk to you. Would that be okay?" Or one of the other girls, Kelly. Kelly could have got them two together and had lunch, and they could have talked out what they needed to talk out. If they were not going to be friends anymore, that would have been cool too. But they would have got it out. But not this right here. You said Kenya is a January Aquarius. They will come for you only if you send for them. Okay, okay. Okay, you said what you want someone to do that to you. No, no. Both both ladies were wrong, but Kenya just went to hell though. Just to be honest, both ladies were wrong, but Kenya just she didn't even go to gut. She went to hell. That's the major mistake. Yes, wrong place, wrong time. Kenya, right? It was not. That was just the wrong time. Not at something you worked really hard for, put your money into it, blood, sweat, and tears to do that at your opening. People couldn't even eat the food or enjoy the salon and look around and things like that because of what you put out there. And a lot of people was disgusted by it, even though they probably rock with you. But when your friend does wrong, you have to call them out on it. It's not that you don't love them and they not your bestie. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You know, you might, you don't have to tell them in front of everybody, pull them to the side or call them later on, like, now, girl, now you know that was out of order what you did. Now you know that was out of order. Me, why would you do that? You know that was out of order. Why would you do that at your grand opening? We didn't get a chance to enjoy the food or any of the festivities because you went to hell. What were you thinking about? You better than this. You know, just because she went there, you didn't have to go there. Not to this extreme. I'm sure a lot of us did stuff in our past we're probably not proud of, but that's in the past. We are younger. We do things. You know, all of us got a little, H up in us. Maybe not now, but back then, yeah, all of us had a little, had some uh, HOE tendencies. Just keeping it a buck with you, just being real. All of us had some uh, things, that we do that we glad back then we didn't have the internet. And I'm just keeping it 100 with you. And I'm being real. I'm glad they didn't have the internet back in our days. So I'm being real with you. So that's all I know how to do is be real. I'm glad they didn't have the internet when we were coming up. Just the stuff, um, like a lot of people, the documentary with Freaknik in it. Some of those women now are judges, lawyers, doctors. They don't want that. They didn't want that stuff to be out there. They were doing stuff. Now I wasn't doing anything like that. You know, I have been to Freaknik before. I'm not gonna lie and say I have, but I wasn't flashing nobody or doing anything, unladylike. I have one a couple times. But you did have some people there that was doing some things. And when the Freaknik documentary came out, a lot of people were nervous. I wasn't nervous because I didn't do nothing, but a lot of people were nervous about that. You have judges and doctors and people who were at those Freakniks back then, and they were doing some wild shit, and they didn't want that to be put out. Have I watched the Freaknik documentary. I watched some of it, but I didn't watch all of it. It don't bother me because I'm not on camera doing anything, or did I do anything? No. But some people have, and they did not want that to be shown. They were trying to sue him, I think, even for trying to put that out. But he was able to do the documentary and put it out. Well, let's see here. But think about it. Production probably told Kenya she would be fine, and they set her up. Kenya should have called the police on Britt that night and had her arrested. Okay. Okay. If you feel threatened, you should have. If you feel threatened by anybody, you should call the cops on you. If you feel threatened. Now, what I said would be wrong if Britt called the police on her? No. If she felt threatened? No. Is it wrong for Britt to possibly call the police on Kenya for putting out these pictures? She could if she felt like she was violated or whatever she felt. She could call the police too. But see, this is the thing. This is how production works. They do stuff like this to make the show messy, to get people talking, get more views. They could have not let either one of the scenes went out. The scene with Kenya putting out the stuff about her, and also Britt talking about the pop collar stuff. They could have cut that off, and then it wouldn't have been nothing. But I think something they didn't edit it out that happened with Kenya and Britt. They edited some stuff out to me. Some was edited. Yeah, she had an investigator. Kenya went to the extreme to get this information. Kenya was blindsided by revenge. Yes. You said people should be mindful of how they carry yourself in public because you never know who's watching. You're right about that. You're absolutely right. Another bad move by production. Yes. I just won't be looking at the show anymore as it like I did Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. Okay. And I can understand that. Some people don't want to watch that type of stuff. I understand that. But I like to see our Black women, with Black excellence. I do. I like them. I like to see them opening up business, making money moves, getting to that bag. This other rah-rah junk, I don't like that. I like to see them going out to dinner and lunch and brunch dressed up, looking like the sophisticated women we know we are. Because, we are trendsetters. Trendsetters. We know we can dress. Black men and Black women, they can dress their butt off. So, we set the trends. And I like to see that. I don't want all the other rah-rah bull crap. They can keep that. Drew with her music. Shamia doing her music. Shamia with the nice house. I like to see stuff like that. Them dressed up, going to parties. And like I was telling Sites them, I want to go to the bank. I want to go there. That looks very nice and elegant. As you get older, you want to do stuff like brunches and stuff like that. You don't want to be with the rah-rah. I don't have time for it. Hello, eat heavenly cupcakes forever. You said I'm pissed. I just finished watching Housewives. Yeah, we're talking about it now. Eat heavenly cupcakes. We're talking about it now. I don't like that. I like to see us come together. Like when I be on the internet, I'll see like you might see Portia them and Yandy and maybe Quath, and they having a pajama party. They all dressed up, nice silk pajamas on. They doing games. They're taking shots. They're eating. They're having a good time. I like to see stuff like that. or they might be on a girls' trip. That's the type of energy I'm on. I don't want no drama. You get up in age, you're not with the drama. Uh, you said they did not have to air this and them fires. Wait a minute, you said they did not have. Okay, I think you meant they did not have to air this and then fire Kenya because it backfired on Bravo. Yes, it sure did. It sure did. Let's take a look at another scene here from tonight's episode. Let's take another look. Okay, so we're thinking that maybe, let's take a look here. This was really not it. All right, so what do we think? Do we think that Portia's doing too much? I thought Portia didn't want Dennis, but she's acting like she wants Dennis. And I think Portia does this if she feels that Dennis is getting too close to another woman, then she kind of puts on the jealous baby mama. But Dennis is saying that he didn't have to check with her because she was in Dubai with Simon at the time, married. So he felt like he didn't have to tell Portia anything. So now since Portia's going through a divorce, then Portia's back, and she's like, "No, if you want to work with Dennis, you got to, I would prefer you talk to me about it." That's what I'm taking from it. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, because she wasn't worried about it before when she was with Simon, happily married. Let me know what y'all think here. Um, okay. Okay, Portia's doing too much. You said you would have slapped the bee into the next season last week when she was talking at the table with that sweetheart, and to how you speak to me. No, ma'am, Kenya was too nice last week. You said Kenya was too nice. Okay, so just honest opinions here. Do you think both ladies were wrong? Do you think Kenya was wrong? Do you think Britt was wrong? Because, like I said before, they had all of the questions for Kenya. I don't know who did the questions, but when they were pulling the names for the questions, all of the questions were directly at Kenya. So maybe the all the people at the table thought, Kenya had a problem with something. Because from what I've seen, all the questions were directed towards Kenya. I think another thing I think Angela was a little pissed at Kenya because this was supposed to be an all black party, but Kenya came in with that turquoise green dress on, and then Kenya talking about she ain't got no black dress, which we know is a lie, in my opinion. Even if she didn't have one, she could have very easily got one, for the party. It didn't have to cost that much. You just could have got one for the party. To if somebody invites you to a party and they tell you it's a theme or dress code, I think you should abide by that or decline the invitation. But I think with Britt and Kenya, I think is because the tension is because I guess Britt allegedly dated Mark. So if that's what the beef is, they should just come on out with it and say it. You know what y'all think in the chat? Hello, baby girl, 1981. Hello, hello. No, Drew is wrong, and I would never talk to her. Portia don't want Dennis, only wants him for a storyline. Okay. But see, like I was saying before on other channel, I think all of them are in cahoots together. I think Drew, Dennis, and Portia, they are in cahoots together for a storyline, all three of them. Because some stuff does look fake and staged to me. In my, just in my opinion, some of the stuff looks staged. Okay. So my sweet Angela wrote the questions. Okay. Okay. So next week, then we should be seeing Phaedra then. So Phaedra should be coming next week because after this scene, I guess that's when Kenya got put on ice. So are we going to be glad to see Phaedra come? Do anybody like Phaedra? I like Phaedra. I think Phaedra right now is living her best life. Phaedra is doing her thing. She's living her best life. She's, I guess she's trying to stay out the way. She's no longer married to medicine, so she's coming over there to Roa. So do you think that Phaedra would be a better fit? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Hello, Pat. Hello, hello. Okay, you like Phaedra? I like Phaedra too. Phaedra is out here living her best life, y'all. Phaedra is living her best life. She's not worried about her ex-husband. She's just doing her. She's not worried about no man. She just hanging out with her girls, doing her thing. And she's looking good doing it. You like Phaedra too? Yeah. So I like Phaedra. So hopefully this could kind of tap down what's going on with Roa right now. Phaedra's going to be on there, So hopefully the women will get along with Phaedra. Do y'all think the newbies are going to get along with Phaedra, like Britt, Angela, let's see, Britt, Angela, and what can I think of her little mini me? What can I think of little mini me? What's her name? Hello, Nacho. Hey, let's see. You said, of course, all of the questions was about Kenya. Andy is trying to make Kenya look bad. Okay. You think he got something against Kenya? I think Andy got something against Kenya. Let me know in the chat, Kelly. So, do y'all think that Phaedra is going to be a good fit with Kelly, Angela, and Britt? And Drew Sidora? How do you think that's going to work out? Do you think that Phaedra will fit right in with them? Okay, you said she's too hood. No, remember, everybody is entitled to their own opinion over here. You can, you entitled to your own opinion. You said yes, but I think Phaedra and Drew are going to bump heads. Oh, okay. So y'all don't think Phaedra and Drew are going to get along? Yes, Kenya was wrong and Britt was wrong. I said that I think both of the ladies were wrong. They could have handled that better. And sometimes I be want to blow up about certain situations, and I have to remember, like, is it that deep? Is it really, really, really that deep? I have to have little talks with myself, you know. Because sometimes you could go there and go to hell, and then you gotta sometimes think to yourself, are these people worth it? You know, gotta have a little pep talk with yourself sometime, like, are they worth it? That's sometimes. Now, if somebody, pull something on you, not talk about it, but pull it out, then we talk about another story. You know, that's my thoughts on that. Now we're gonna get off of Roa for now. Let's talk about Married to Medicine. Well, we're gonna talk about one in particular, Dr. Heaven and Dr. David. Now, why are they out here, Dr. Heavenly, saying that her son was not arrested, her son did not try to hit a security officer, and we have the court documentation floating around here on these internet streets. Why is she trying to deflect? Why? Why is she deflecting everything? So I feel that when it's time to talk about her situation, her kids or her husband, she deflects everything. She swears up and down she knows nothing about it. Now I know Dr. Heavenly did see that paperwork. I know somebody that sent it to her. So I know she's lying about that. It is what it is. We can't control what our kids do. If they do stuff that, we could just try to be there for them. We can't be with them 24 hours of the day they've grown. You didn't raise them to the best of your ability. Now, if you go out here and make some bad decisions, the parents should be held accountable for that. But my problem with Dr. Heavenly is that why are you trying to act like the content creators out here just making up stuff on you and your kids when we have seen the documentation? And then you tell us you don't know nothing about it. You do know something about it. When you start hearing everything, as a mother, you're going to go and investigate. Now, don't give me that. You're going to go and investigate. Oh, we talked about AI last week. That if y'all didn't hear me before, we talked about AI where he has him a new boo, and somebody that works on, well, it got to be somebody that works on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and production is sending him information about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, AI is saying that he has he was showing it where it says it's like a manual. It says how their production is ran, what they need to do, things like that. That's how the manual looks, or whatever, how it's labeled, right? So he has that. Also, he knows each scene that they're trying to film for. So he said if they keep on messing with him, he will put out all the scenes. And that's not good if they put out all the scenes, because then they're going to have to go back. And if you be talking about the scenes and stuff like that, that is bad for production, because we already, as the audience, know what's going to happen. And then AI showed the text messages that the person was texting him about Love and Marriage Huntsville. They was basically showing him how everything is ran, how Carlos runs his production, what he does, things like that. So somebody on his team is giving out all the tea. And AL is saying that if they keep on talking about nonsense, he's going to put it out. And I said I was glad he got a boo, because he said he hasn't been on YouTube in a while, and we know that because, like, I scroll through YouTube. If I see something interesting, I will stop. I'll get up in the bushes and see what they're talking about. Yes, I do that. And he hasn't been on the internet in a while. He's been with his boo thing, and that's good. I said I love love. If he's found love, that's great for him. You know, I think that's good for him. You said Andy doesn't really care for Kenya. Let me see what you're saying. Yes, but I think Phaedra and Drew are going to bump heads. Let me see. Because Heavenly is crazy and want people to believe that she has a perfect family. Yes, and that's why I say I don't think they should be calling these shows reality shows, because it's not reality. Because everybody don't want to put their life out there, and that's understandable. But you shouldn't be on a reality show. Now, what Melanie did, she put her whole life out there, her whole marriage, the ups, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups and downs. And a lot of other people are not going to do that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if the other castmates can carry that show. Are they going to finally start talking about, if there was infidelity in their marriage? Are they still together? Are they separated? I don't think they want to put their life out there like that. Because somebody's going to have to step it up. Do you think the Scots 1.0 or 2.0 will finally start telling about their life? That's the only way the show will be, can go, if they're going to be honest. And I don't think they want to do that. Just saying, allegedly and for entertainment purposes, I don't think none of Scott 1.0 or Scott 2.0 don't want to put out there if they're separated, or if they, whatever's going on, they don't want to put it out there. So, that's a big thing. And with these, we don't know if behind the scenes, if the people that left Bell Collective, so Gucci, Aisha or Aikisha, them have maybe allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, maybe try to sue them. And I don't want all these suits against them, because Owen tried to get out the suit with Maurice, and of course I'm not letting him get out of it. Not letting Owen get out of it. Okay. Yeah, so he says he's not going to be doing no more love and marriage Huntsville. He said he don't care about it. That's what he said. He said, but if they come for him, he will put it out. That's what AL was saying. No, me either, Pat. I don't think they're not gonna do what Melanie did. They're not gonna share all their life like that. Then you have people on there, probably they're worried about people saying, they was right, Marcel was cheating, Maurice was cheating, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. They don't want the I told you so. I don't think they can handle that. So that's something else. And like I said, and we were talking about Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly don't want any type of smudges on her family name. But my whole thing is this: if we can see the court documentation, and then somebody even verified the address that's on the court documentation is her address. So I don't know how she's trying to spin this. The address that's on those papers from the courts about her son is Dr. Heavenly's address. Allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly. So she knows, but she's just trying to deflect. Nobody's family is perfect. We all got, siblings that do things or have done things. We might have done things in our past that we're not proud of now. And we look at it now like, how did I do that dumb shit? Or, things like that. So we just got to be real. And I don't understand why Dr. Heavenly don't want to be real. Our kids are going to do shit that we don't like. It is what it is. And I would respect her more if she would have just said, yeah, my son got into some trouble, but we handling it, or, something like that, instead of lying and say that's not true. She know nothing about it. And your address set up on it. Allegedly. All right, guys, we've been on here for like an hour and a half, and I am getting really tired. This is my third live today. That's all the commentary I have for you guys today, but I will be back tomorrow to give more commentary. If you are new to my channel, please think about becoming a subscriber, and also think about becoming a member of the channel to support the channel. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Good night. 92 likes and 67 in the chat. As you come in, if you did not give a thumbs up, can you please give one on your way out, please? And thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everyone. And thank you so much to all my mods, my tea sippers, and also to my tea drops. I will see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Good night.